We talk matters paragliding, a sport gaining popularity in Kenya for either recreation or simply for the love of adventure.
Well, good morning and welcome to KTN Sports Chat, where we talk more about sports in Kenya and across the borders. My name is Abdullah Ahmed, and today we are coming to you live from Kijabe Hills, the middle of Nyandarua and also Nakuru. We're going to talk about paragliding. I know it's a new sport, some of you in Kenya, and right now I'm joined by Mr. Isaac Makame, who's one of the few Kenyans who actually practice paragliding. Isaac, welcome to KTN Sports Chat, and it's good to be with you here.
Thank you.
Tell us about this place. I believe that we are 2,000 meters above sea level. Is it something that you consider before paragliding, or?
Yeah, we consider also the height. This place is 2,640 meters. It's high up, and it's a unique mountain whereby you can fly south, west, or north. Kenyans or tourists who have been doing that, and now as an African, I just came in. I'm the first black Africans who have managed to get training, and now I'm also training others, and we want to see if we can put it in part of the sports. I know a lot of people, they fear height, they fear flying, and I just want to train them, those I can train. I have a school that I'm linked with in Bulgaria. They usually come in January, February and March, where they also assist in training. Yeah, we have two more Africans. They are still novice, but one is really catching up very well.
Tell us about this place. What's so special about Kijabe Hills?
Kijabe Hills is, they call it a sacred mountain. As if you can see up there, a lot of church members, they come there. They come there for a week, 2 weeks, just for praying. Sometimes also schools and a lot of groups, they come here for capacity building, team building, I say, where they hike. You can hike up and down. It's quite tiresome, but you need to be fit. It's also really good for keeping you fit.
What was the event that was happening here?
This is the first, we had the first paragliding competition here. Actually, we had quite a lot. We came yesterday, we camped here, we had quite a lot of people, almost 50 people with the families. So, and then in the morning we started the competition. The competition was to take off, and then we were flying down there. There's a place we mark where you have to be precise. It's a challenge because you need to control and know where to do.
Talking about paragliding, what do you need, a paraglider or a pilot? What do you need to paraglide?
Okay, we have equipments. Unfortunately, they are quite expensive, and that is which is putting some of the able African out, because one kit can cost about 2,000, 3,000 euros or dollars. And like the guys who have trained, I just managed to get from the old guys, the old glider. Now they are using it to fly, and they are really good. So you need the kit, you need the proper training. As I said, like any other sport, it's a dangerous sport, but exciting, full of adrenaline pump. And it's also something that keeps you alert. It keeps you away from drugs, drugs or whatever, drinking, alcohol. So you need to be sober. You need to know what to do at a split of a second. So it's good to have proper training. Like you start with ground training, you do the kiting of the paragliding, and then you are given the kit. The kit, we have the harness, which is the chair where you sit. We have the glider, and then we have a reserve parachute sideway. In case you fly, anything can go wrong, and then you can pull that, and then you land safely. If he wants to take off, but the wind is strong, the only thing he will see, he will get the window where the wind cools down, then he can take off. Then we have to fly away from the hill, and then he goes to the plane and land there. We usually recommend to fly within a specific speed of the wind, which is 8 meters per second and below. Above that, unless you are really professional. Yeah, I've been doing this like for 4 years, and I'm still very careful. I don't want to go beyond my training, and that's also what I usually tell people.
You are one of the few Kenyans who do this. How many specifically?
I am the first black. Okay, we have white Kenyans, but the black Kenyans, the real Kenyans, and then we have the two who are based in Iten. I'm trying to train them more so that they become like a tour guide. You remember there was incidents of some accidents there. The foreigner came in and then there was some casualty in it. But if you have a tour guide, like I travel a lot. If I go to India, I went there in Himalayas, and what I did, I look for a local pilot, and I told him, okay, tomorrow we are going to fly together, so that because he knows the area, he knows where the places that are good, the places that are dangerous to go. Because the technique here is when the wind is blowing, you need to don't go and fly behind the hill, because there is a rotor, and if you fly behind the hill, definitely, like any other thing, it will just collapse. So you fly, you go out, and then you see, okay, even when you're flying in the air and the wind is so strong, there's a way of coming down, and you remain safe. As I said, out of 1,000 pilot, maybe 2 or 3 you find bad incidents. You can compare like motorbike or vehicles or whatever, but it's a dangerous sport. You need to follow training. We do training, and we have the gadget. You can see like that is a vario, where it will show you the height, the wind direction, and also the wind, how strong the wind is. Yeah. So he's preparing it. He has the helmet, just in case. Then there is that you see the big bag at the back. It is airtight. When it takes off, it takes like 25 to 30 seconds to fill it up. On the other side, he has a reserve parachute. This one is a paraglider. Why we call it paraglider? Because you glide. But a parachute, mostly you find it with maybe the military or the people who does the skydiving. The only thing they do is to jump and they come down. But with the paragliding, if you are trained enough, you can fly as long as you want, maybe 8 hours, 10 hours, 4 hours. Yeah.
Talking about the gadget, because when they were landing on the other side, it produces some sound. Yes. What does that indicate?
Okay, the gadget is a vario where you have the lift. You know, in the plane you have hot air that raises up. Okay. So it picks that, and then there's a vario to show that you are climbing. When descending, it changes the sound. So for you, if you follow it very well, so you fly around looking for the hot air that goes up. Yes. And then you always, when you're flying, always have a plan A and plan B. In case of a problem, where do you land? You can land anywhere, so long as you're not on the power cables.
Do they only have one parachute, or there's another one in case of emergency?
There's another one. If the other guy can turn the other side, there's a reserve. We call it a reserve. That you see that red one? There is a parachute inside there. So in case you go in and you bump into this, then you can pull that. The only thing you do with that, once you pull it, now you just descend down vertically, maybe 5 meters per second, 3 meters per second. There's a way you just land, and you're safe, you collect yourself. It's always recommended you don't fly without a reserve.
Take us through the process. First of all, what equipments do you need, and how is the process before someone takes off?
Okay. First of all, you need a helmet, you need gloves, you need a good jacket, just in case you are pushed a little bit in the shrubs, then you don't rub yourself out. Then you have the harness. The helmet is a must, and you just need to have those kits. You don't fly without it. Yes.
And the process now, how do you begin?
How you begin as a beginner, we have the beginners training course, then we have intermediary, and then the advanced course. The advanced course, they goes up to like, let's say acrobats. The acrobats, those are, we have very few here. I think we have only two acrobats here. And the paragliding, we have 4 classes. We have the glider A for beginners, we have B, we have C and D. D is the topmost for competitors in Europe. Yeah, that one goes.
How many paragliders do we have in Kenyans paragliders that you know?
In general, we have Kenya Paragliders Association, which I would say some are already abroad, some are here. We are not more than 100, not more than 50. Unfortunately, I'm the only African who can say that I've really been trained. I went to Europe, got quite a lot of training. Now I'm trying to get that training to the local young guys. Why I want to train them, is that you see a lot of, during winter in Europe, a lot of tourists, they come as a paragliders. They come, they want to fly. At the same time, they want to go to Masai Mara. So they fly for 1 week, then after that, they go to Masai Mara, which is really, if we combine, like last time, we had almost like 30, 40 of them, and they still want to come. So if you have a local guide, like in Iten or here, they come and then they hire, they fly together, and you also feel good that you are flying with somebody who is local here. So it's part of the tourism industry, which is really picking up very fast, like I did.
What can you say to Kenyans about paragliding, something that you've experienced and you'll want others also to experience?
I would say that it's a sport full of discipline, excitement, and people should not fear. They should just come and join. They can. We have Kenya Paraglider Association. We have the membership club. We have started a membership club here, and we want them to come as much as possible. Those who want to be trained, we can arrange, and then we start from like they hire kit from us, and then we train them. Then now they decide to buy their own kit.
What are the do's and don'ts of paragliding?
The do and don'ts, first of all, you need to also to study the weather. It's very, very important, studying the weather. We focus more on the speed of the direction of the wind, the speed, and also like now, if the speed is more than 8 meters per second, I think you should not fly. We want to fly comfortable and safe. So anything below 8, 6 down, you can fly, even you can just sleep and you enjoy. You can fly 4 hours, 5 hours. Also, we are not supposed to go at a certain altitude, so we maintain just within the limits. Because in Europe, you also need to be trained how to, because in many countries we have airspace. We are not supposed to go into that. Yeah.
Normally, what time does it take from, between landing, between taking off and landing?
It depends. Like in the morning we took off, we took like 25 minutes. Then the second shot we came in, I think it was almost an hour. So I've done in Kerio 4 hours. My friends have done 3 hours, 6 hours. And it depends with the weather. Yeah, and also you need to study the clouds. There are clouds that are heavy clouds, the one that carries thunders. You need to avoid it. We have the others that are really good. And also we need to focus on the heat, the thermals. We call them thermals. Yeah, those are our friends.
At the landing point, there was a guy there who was in charge. What's his work?
His work was to see, because we were supposed to land at the center. Now, and it's very difficult actually. That's where the excitement is all about. So you have to gauge the speed you are with, the height, the speed. Sometimes you use the speed bar, and sometimes even you short. You don't. If you land in the bull, you have to have less points as much as possible. The person who has the lowest points is the winner. If you land outside, then you increase your you are distant from the center.
Finally, where do you see paragliding in Kenya in the next few years?
Well, we have the middle elites, the young guys. I would advise them, instead of them, I don't know, say hanyaring or going here and there. I think they should come and embrace and get trained. They'll be disciplined on that. We want to put it to another level. We want to also bring it down from the elites to the level that people can be trained and they also enjoy. You go to Europe, a lot of young guys, they do the training. It's a serious sport.
Are you going to see maybe some academies or where people go there and get the knowledge that they need on paragliding?
To organize, we have the academy. Then we also need to get also permission from the aviation, the guys from flying, because there are areas that we are not supposed to fly. Like a good one is Ngong Hills, because that is the turning point of all the passenger planes and everything. We are not supposed to fly there. We are not supposed to fly near the airspace. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Isaac Makimei, and we'll get in touch. I also want to know a few things about paragliding. Maybe one day you'll also see me
sure.
being one of the pilots.
Paragliding, I really don't know whether I need to try it out because I'm afraid of heights a bit. I think for some of us who are height freaks, we just need to try it out, but it needs courage. I wonder whether my colleague Bula is able to try it out, because he says he needs to try it out later on. But before I leave you with part 2 of paragliding, which has attracted a lot of foreigners in Kenya, let me sample your feedback. And this morning on Morning Express, it asked, do you agree with Ezra Chiloba that IBC is in a crisis? Do you agree with Ezra Chiloba, that is the fired IBC CEO, that IEBC, the electoral body, is in crisis? So much of your feedback. Let me sample 3, then I leave you with part 2 of paragliding. And Kileme Moreve says, why would Chiloba matter in conflict and crisis resolution in IEBC if he could head off any further lamenting of the commission's position in politics today? Where would he make his landfall? Into whose hands is he directly playing? You can almost hear your answers. And Kenneth Obora says Chiloba was the crisis in IEBC. Since he's gone, we have well-constituted commission as per the constitution, but according to the constitution, the commission is not complete as for now, because 3 commissioners are out, the CEO is out. So if you read the entire constitution, when it comes to electoral matters, as it stands, IEBC is not complete. And Bernard Omutanyi says, Chiloba should remain silent until proven innocent or guilty. He messed elections and elect his decision. And lastly, from Marie, who says, where's the indifference option? We shall continue having